What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Taylor James, and you are listening to or watching the Taylor James Lifestyle Show. Anyways, I'm a little buzzed, guys. Sitting here doing some sipping on a Friday night. I don't often do sipping on Friday night. It's not so much a special occasion, more so just felt like it. I don't often drink really at all, and when I do, I like to have a couple drinks and do some creative shit. I like to sometimes get creative when I drink. I think it's the best. Anyways, so we are here to talk about a few things today, but before we get into those few things, please, if you could, like, subscribe, follow, comment, whatever the fuck. Find us on Instagram. Follow us on YouTube. Building a TikTok. All the shit. So, follow us. Like us. Subscribe us. Comment us. Please and thank you. I will continue to put out content. I just need you to do your part and do all that other shit I just said. So, let's get into it. We'll wait for the dogs to stop. Oh, that was quick. He just wanted a little slurp. Anyways, so today we are here to talk about a few things. We'll kind of get into like two things primarily, but I'll probably kind of subget into a few other things. I'll subget into them. Anyways, dumb joke. So, well, the primary topic for today is pretty much authenticity, but more so than anything, being unapologetically authentical. Be unapologetically authentic. Oh my God. He just got a drink of water too, and now he's back. Anyways, today's episode is about being unapologetically you. Dude, honestly, you guys want to know something funny? This is the third fucking time I've tried to do this podcast. The first two, I made it about halfway through, and I was just like, but yeah, now we're really doing something with this one, and it's probably nothing to do with the fucking 18 seltzers I drank before this, because your boy's not trying to gain any more fucking chub. Anyways, I gotta focus. Sorry, I'm full squirrel brain right now. Squirrel. Am I already slurring? Squirrel slurring? Squirrel slurs? Okay. Too much Matt and Shane's secret podcast in here. That shit will corrupt your mind in the best way possible. Anyways, today's episode is about being unapologetically authentic and being unapologetically authentically you. Now, I'm sure it doesn't go, I'm sure I don't really even need to get into too much behind that. I'm sure that we all kind of, just from the words that I said, maybe not, because I said some ridiculous things in there. But I guess what I'm trying to say is I feel like we all know and we all see when we are not authentically us. And that's primarily what it comes down to, is being authentic. Because I think when you're authentic, it's easier to not have to apologize for who you are. I think when you're authentic, it's easier to operate just as a person and as a human. When you're authentic, you don't have to worry about covering up an act or lies or stories. When you're authentic, people love you for you. You know what I mean? And there's never any real curiousness to things like that, because you're authentic. You know what I mean? And if somebody doesn't like you, that's where the unapologetic part comes in. You're unapologetically you. You're unapologetically authentically you. Like, why would you ever apologize for that? You shouldn't, and you won't. You know what I mean? From here on out, especially. But the point is like, be authentic. Be you. Be authentically you, man. Nobody's asking. I mean, of course, people are asking for this act and this facade, and it just seems so fucking ridiculous right now in the world. Just that, like, everybody has some fucking act that they want to throw at you. You know what I mean? And it's just like, dude, like, take this podcast for example. Not a huge podcast, like not massive by any stretch of the word at all. But one thing I can say is that it's authentic. It's me. It's my friends. It's random fucking shit that I feel like talking about on a Friday night drinking seltzers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm authentically me, and I don't have to apologize for that, and I don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like when, you know, an artist gets famous by their authentic sound, and then they get signed to a major record label, and the record label is like, "Oh yeah, you're it's really great, but you know, times are changing, and you need to get with the times." And they start getting this artist to change their look and change their sound and to conform to whatever fucking corporate dumbass shit they're trying to institute, you know, and that's kind of what I almost feel like is happening. I mean, if you look at music in general and how like it works for a music or an artist to get with a music label, like, we are the fucking musicians. We are the artists, the people, especially of this country, America, the United States. We are the artists. We are the talent. And that's real shit. You know what I'm saying? And of course they want to try to get us as far away from our authentic selves as possible. Who wouldn't? You know what I mean? When we're authentically us, we're powerful as fuck. And when we're united and authentic, get out of here. You know what I'm saying? Game over, dude. But my point is like, a record label hires a musician that's good, easily manipulated maybe, but like a good talented musician, and then they try to shape them to what's going to make them the most money. And that's kind of what's happened and is happening with us. Is we are the talent. We got hired in. We're now here, right? And times are changing, and we're supposed to get with the times and conform to what the major corporations are saying to us, telling us to fucking change all these things and to fucking eat this food and to fucking drink this water and to do this and do that. And it's okay, we got your back. But it's all about the profits. It's all about big business. It's all about all the shit that's bad for us as people. And they're just trying to tear away our authenticity. And it's working to some capacity. I mean, look at social media. I don't know if anybody's been on Instagram lately or if any dudes have been on Instagram lately, but I mean, Instagram's full of inauthentic people, especially women, and inauthentic content of like putting that into your brain all day is just, it's not authentic information. It's all fabricated. It's all what you love and what you like, and your algorithm feeds you a fucking IV of just pure, you know, just pure serotonin and highs, you know, all day, little bits here, take a little fucking dose. And we're really losing sight of our authentic selves, I feel. But the other part, I guess, of it is being unapologetically authentic. I think that's kind of where, I think that is where we see some sort of progress be made in culture, community, the way things are, I guess, the way things are, I guess, the way that we do business moving forward, are all going to be shaped by how unapologetically authentic we are as humans, especially in America right now. It's never been more important. as far as I can tell, to be unapologetically authentic. I'm gonna have so many stutters in this podcast. Let's make it a couple more. So, the unapologetic part, I think, is important because we, again, coming back to social media and what we're supposed to be and what culture and community and all these things kind of tell us that we're supposed to be. And then we get these feelings of like, oh no, am I not where I'm supposed to be in life? All these external thoughts and all these external forces affecting like the way we feel about ourselves and the way we question ourselves and shit like that. And, I think it's really time to get to a spot in life or a spot in history of unapologetic authenticity. And there's a couple things, right? Because in a perfect world, we're authentically amazing, right? We're all authentically good people with good morals and things of that nature, but there are many people in this world that are not that. There are many people that are authentically evil, authentically bad. That's just who they are as people. And what's funny to me is that I see, still got good lighting. My light is kind of flopped over. A lot of times I see like criminals and drug addicts and people kind of that are supposed to be, the I don't know, just the mischievous members of society, I guess you want to call them. They are more unapologetic about who they are than people that are like really great and people that are amazing and do things for the community and donate money to fucking things and stuff, which is so backwards. Like those are the people that need to feel shame and apology, apologeticness or whatever, like they need to feel that. They need to feel sorry. They're supposed to. They are sorry. They're fucking worthless. You know what I mean? I digress. That's a story for another time. But my whole point is like, I think once people start to see kind of other people leading by example, so to speak, as far as being unapologetically authentic and not being so willing to just apologize for who you are as a person. For me, where it comes into like real view, I guess for me is dating, especially in a place like Alaska. Hey, sorry. Dog was being a bad dog. You go get in your bed right now. Fucking butt fucker. Just got on the counter trying to eat my fucking stuff I made or whatever it is. Anyways. Where was I? Foxy, you fucked up my tangent here. Anyways, so a lot of people, I believe, will start to see, and it's going to take some strong members of communities and societies to really be unapologetically you and to be unapologetically authentic. A lot of people for a long time have been suffocated and told that who they are and what they say isn't what people want to hear. It isn't right. It isn't correct. And a lot of people feel like they have to conform and they have to be shaped to whatever everybody else's mold is, and it's we got guys like fucking George Soros basically creating the mold, and he's wanting us to be the Play-Doh that fits his mold, and and it's just like, what, dude? You want me to be what you want me to be? Absolutely fucking not. No. Fuck you. And that's where the unapologetic comes in. And I don't mean, you know, I'm obviously talking about the far end of one end of the scale. I'm just thinking of all these different examples and some shit I heard today on a podcast that was funny. It's just mind-blowing to me. And I think, like I said, it's never been more important than it is now to really kind of hone in and focus in on our authenticity as Americans and as good people. You know what I mean? I think that's where the focus needs to be. And I hope that if you're listening to this podcast, you are considered a good person. You consider yourself a good person. And if you're not great, then I hope that you're working your way towards becoming great, like myself. You know what I mean? I'm no perfect person, and I don't think I will be ever. But I'll never stop working towards perfection and becoming the best version of myself every day. And this is part of that. And I hope that the people that are listening to this podcast or watching this podcast, I hope that you guys are my kin. I hope that you are like-minded in that aspect. That'll make it a lot easier, because for us, people like you and I, it's never been more important for us to really stand up and show kind of others and show the world and show people what we're capable of and what we can do to really usher in change and to really bring greatness to our communities and to our society, man. Like, I look around my neighborhood here. You know, I live in a nice neighborhood. I worked really fucking hard to get here, and I'm not stopping. You know what I mean? I'm just getting fucking started, barely even getting fucking started. I just turned the motor over, dude. I ain't even fucking put it in gear yet. Anyways. But like, I think about my community, and that's what has really opened up my mind to all this, and that's a very deep thing in and of itself. But I look at my neighbors, I look at the community here, and it really, it's amazing. It's, like I said, it's what's kind of brought me to this point of, I guess, self-reflection and just who I want to be as a man and as a person. And I see my neighbors doing things. You know, I'm probably the youngest guy on the block as far as people that own houses on this street. Probably even the youngest dude in the whole HOA that owns a house here. Not sorry, but I am very inexperienced in a lot of aspects of life. I have a lot of growing and a lot of learning to do. And from time to time, I look at my neighbors, or I'm just observant, and I just watch, and I see things from time to time, and I see things that maybe my neighbor does that motivate me to be a little bit better. And not that I'm trying to be in competition with any of my neighbors or anything, but I have one neighbor specifically who I look up to a lot. He's got a beautiful family, beautiful house, really crazy story, and I only know a little bit of it. But he's always just been such a cool dude and such a good person, and it's really, really incentivized me to become a good person and to be, you know, I guess similar in that aspect. I mean, I look at him and his family, and I just think how beautiful that is. You know, how amazing is it to get to be friends with a person or to be neighbors with a guy who's raising a beautiful family and has good morals and teaches me that from time to time in little doses, you know, and it's very impactful. And my point in saying all that is I say that to say this, but that's why I say we need to start standing up and being unapologetically, authentically us, and not so much loud about it, but lead by example. You never know when there's, you know, a young neighbor kid down the road who wants to fucking learn what it is that you're ready to teach, you know? And that's kind of the case with me and my neighbor. He's taught me a lot, and a lot of what he's done are things that I see that he's leading by example. He's setting an example not only for his family but for his neighbors, for his community. People see him and see who he is and what he's built and how he holds himself and how he has discipline and mental toughness and fortitude, and he's a good person. He's always helping and donating, and he's heavily involved with the church. He got me back, real heavily involved with the church as well, which that's something for a different podcast. But he's that neighbor specifically has been life-changing in the way that he has been an example to the community, right? And so it's inspired me to be a similar, I guess, focal point of the community in any way that I can be. And right now that way is to be unapologetically me, be unapologetic about being authentic. But also with that, always be working on that authentic you. That authentic you is a sliding scale, or whatever you want to call it. It's a living document. It always is being worked on and dealt with and grown, over time. And sometimes things get deleted off that document, and then you get a little bit more added, and then you delete some and you add a little bit more. And then you go to revise it, and then you add a little more, and you delete a little, and you add. And then you have this document, right? And you have this you, this authentic you that you've worked on forever. You've grown into this person that you want to be. And at the end of the day, that is why we're all here, is to be what we want to be. And now I'm not saying to go out and be a fucking piece of shit. That's definitely not what I'm saying. This channel, this podcast, me, everything that I stand for is all about becoming the best version of yourself that you can become, not for you necessarily, but for everybody else around you, for your community, for your kids, for your family, for your wife, for your brothers, your sisters, your grandmas, your uncles, your brothers, your cousins. I'm talking about leading by example. And, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things. Everything that I've done the last probably, I don't know, almost 4 years, 3-4 years, I've done with a conscious effort of being as authentically me as I can about it. And I will say that probably most of the time it works out that way. It works out when you're authentically you. There's just too many pros that outweigh all the cons with this one. Being authentic, there's just so many things. Like, you don't ever have to worry about anything. You don't have to apologize for being you. Like, you're just you, man. Like, and if people don't like it, don't get offended, dude. 80-20 rule, you know what I mean? I was just thinking about this earlier. A different guy, older dude that I worked for, owns a company in Anchorage, doing automotive lift installation and sales. He does like lube system installs, air systems, washer fluid. Does most of all of his stuff is for like auto shops and auto shop accessories. He had told me one time about the 80-20 rule, and he said 80% of the time they'll be your friend and they'll like you and it'll be great, and 20% of the time it won't be that way. They'll hate you and think you're stupid and stuff like that. And shout out to that motherfucker, because nothing in life has seemed more true in the last few years than that. And just in life, reflecting back, knowing that, looking back at life, I'm like, yeah, that's accurate, And I'm a likable guy. It's still about 80-20. But when you move through life and it's like I got out of a serious relationship a couple years ago, and it was rough. It was hard emotionally. It wasn't like a bad breakup or anything. It was very, very mellow as far as that goes, but the emotional impact that it had on me was rough. And even still, it's been years, and it still is a lingering feeling. You know what I mean? I definitely, it wasn't for nothing, right? But I guess my point is at the end of the day with that, like with the relationship, at the end of the day, I know with my whole heart that I did everything I possibly could. I did the best that I could do. I obviously wasn't perfect, and I never will be, you know what I mean? But I did my best. I stayed committed to that woman. You know what I mean? Like I made promises that I kept. I made commitments that I kept. Even when shit got hard, you know what I mean? Fucking powered through it. And she ended up being the one that was over it and took off or whatever. But my point is that even when it, like, being authentically you and is the same as being this relationship, right? If it doesn't work out, at least you can say at the end of the day, you didn't compromise. You didn't compromise you. You didn't change yourself. You didn't alter your personality or change your entire life because you wanted to be with this woman, or because you needed this job, or because you fucking, wanted to be on this movie, or, anything like that. Like, on any level of life, like, it's applicable to everybody. We can all be more authentically us and be more unapologetic about it. You know what I mean? And whoa. So yeah, man. Like, at the end of the day, at least you'll be able to tell yourself, like, hey, I tried my best. I did everything that I possibly could to be successful, or for this to be successful, or for it to be good, and shit like that. And sometimes things don't work out, sometimes things are just destined for failure. And kind of almost retract that last statement, not necessarily failure, but things are destined to not necessarily be what you think they are. And in my case, with that relationship, that's what ended up being the case. But there's those two things, really, I mean, are key to, like, being authentically you. If you can be you, authentically you, and know at the end of it, if something doesn't work out, or even if it's you're being yourself and it seems like it's rough and you're working down this weird trail and it's bumpy and shit, but you're still maintaining you and you're staying true to yourself and you're being authentic, at the end of it, even if it doesn't work out, you went through all that bullshit to get to a dead end, right? Even if it didn't work, at least you can say to yourself that you stayed true to yourself. You kept that promise with yourself that you will be forever true and authentically you. And that's what I wanted to say today. Don't compromise. Be you. Don't apologize for being you either. A lot of people will want you to. A lot of people will expect you to. A lot of people will be mad when you don't. Fuck them. Tell them to get fucked. You know what I mean? You don't want people like that in your life. If they're going to guilt trip you about you being you, like, get off my dick. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about it. So, I don't know, guys. I know it's random. I don't know how I like these little mics, dude. I kind of just want to fidget with them all the time. And I feel like I do nothing but fidget with them the whole time, dude. Woo. Anyways. That's me, though. Like, And so I might squirrel out a little bit here because I'm not even sure if I already said it here because I've tried recording this podcast like 3 or 4 times now. But I said it on the last one. This is me. This is authentically me, man. I'm just a fucking, I don't know. You know, I don't have any labels on me. Like, I don't put labels on myself. I don't put chains on me. You know what I mean? I don't restrict myself. I don't want to know if I'm autistic. I don't want to know if I have ADD. I don't really give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I'm authentically me. I'm Elge. I'm Taylor. I'm Taylor James Elge. You know what I mean? The motherfuckers that know me. I'm Moose. I'm fucking Moose. I'm me. Like, I'm wild. I'm fucking grumpy sometimes. I'm happy as fuck most of the time. Like, you got lots of energy, lots of positivity, lots of greatness. You know what I mean? I fucking go all over the place with my thoughts. I have great ideas. I have a lot of fucking weaknesses too. You know what I mean? But that's authentically me. And that's what this podcast is about. And I think I did say it on this one, but like, you know, that's why the podcast is the way it is, you know what I mean? And why people, you know, like a lot of guys are, a lot of podcasters or YouTubers or content creators are like fitness or politics or fucking comedy, you know what I mean? And I'm just creating content that doesn't fit necessarily a mold that I know about. I'm just being authentically me, dude, and unapologetically doing so. You know what I mean? Which is this, if you're curious. This is the unapologetically doing so part. But I really do think it's time that we all put a little more fuck you back in our step. And I don't mean to be walking down the road and just to be mugging people and fucking, because I do that sometimes. Sometimes I'm just grumpy. And that's one of my weaknesses. But what I'm saying is to just like take a little bit less of people's bullshit every day, you know, because everywhere we go, every step of the way, every fucking single day, somebody's out there trying to bullshit you. You know what I mean? You got guys trying to sell you shit. You got fucking people calling to sell you shit. You got fucking people telling you they're gonna solve all your problems under the sun. People want to get your money, and people want to bullshit you, man. People want to take advantage of you, and that's what kind of led me down my path of like discovering the dark side and learning to say no more. And I was talking about this today, actually. I believe it was, I can't remember his name. It's like Kaylor or Kaylor Betts, I think. It's on Instagram. I believe it's Kaylor. Real fucking handsome Canadian dude, I believe. He said something, and this isn't a new thing, that he's not, you know, this isn't his original thought or whatever. This is I just recently saw him say it, but basically he was saying something to the effect of like, if it's not a fuck yes, then it's a no. You know what I mean? And that's kind of one of the things that I've been trying to like really embrace a lot more lately is like, dude, if it's not a fuck yes, like why are you wasting my time type of thing, you know? Why are we even talking about this? I think I think being authentically you and being able to say no and to be unapologetically you and to kind of harness your dark side, I think those are all things that are tools. And that's how Tim Grover talks about it in the book Winning. He talks about the dark side as a tool. The dark side is what's going to get you out of bed at fucking 3:30 in the morning to go to the gym when you don't want to. You know what I mean? That dark side, that fucking, the motherfucker that you call out to fucking get shit done type of motherfucker inside of you that we all have. You know what I mean? The fuck you part of you, you know? The part of you that does walk down the street with that fucking mean look in his eye and want to fight everybody, but knows he's not going to. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not saying to go out and start fighting people, but what I'm saying is have that chip on your shoulder. You know what I mean? Get out there and fucking and be a little bit fucking masculine, if you want to call it that. And I don't even mean that for just men. I'm saying to women as well. And to be honest with you, a lot of time nowadays, more so than I think ever, I've seen more fucking rowdy masculine bitches than I see fucking rowdy masculine dudes. So take that and stick it in your butt. But were you being a bad girl? You were a bad girl, huh, Futty? Bad girl, got on the counter. You go lay down right now. But yeah. So with all that being said, I know I kind of ranted for a lot of just this time. Only about 30 minutes. That's really been like an hour and a half for me, because I've been sitting here trying to get this fucking shit out. But ooh, yes, unapologetically you, man. This is that podcast you can only do 1 of 2 times. First thing in the morning after cardio, or a good hardcore weight sesh, gym. First thing in the morning after the gym, or on a Friday night drinking seltzers with the fire going and your dog's chilling. And what's up? Anyways, unapologetically you. I hear a lot of people talk about Joe Rogan, Andy Frisella, maybe even a couple of the other guys I listen to from time to time. Big entrepreneurs or guys in the self-development space and things like that. Everybody's like, be unapologetically great. And I was kind of thinking about like saying that and using that, be unapologetically great. And it's like, yeah, I think it's easier said than done to be unapologetically great. I think we're all capable of greatness within us, and we all have the capacity to really be great people. But that shit needs to be earned. That doesn't just get thrown around. You don't just get to be unapologetically great. You got to fucking earn that. And that starts with being unapologetically you. Be unapologetic about being a great person, for sure. Be unapologetic about, fucking the way you train in the gym. Be unapologetic about how fucking hard you work. Be unapologetic about how fucking much money you make. Be unapologetic about like every aspect that you're working on in life that you want to be amazing. Be unapologetically like ridiculously hardworking about it. Then you will become unapologetically great. And that's how great men are born. Great women, great men, great humans. That's how they're made. And I'm not saying that I'm great. I feel like I got a fuck ton of work to do before I will ever be Taylor the Great. But I will one day be Taylor the Great. Just wait for Taylor the Great. Anyways, just kidding. But not really. I guess my point is like, just be unapologetically, authentically you, Work hard on becoming a better person every day. Work hard on being a good example for your community, for your neighbors, for the people around you, your little brothers, your big brothers, your moms, your dads, your sisters, your uncles, your brothers, your cousins. You know what I'm saying? Like, be an example for them. I don't know. Maybe it's just my perception, but I've always felt like, I don't know, not like a little brother so much, but like, I don't know, just like a young guy, right? Like, I've always felt younger than everybody, and I've always felt maybe less experienced than other people. And it wasn't till it was probably about 25 when I started understanding that all the work that I'd put in was putting me like light years ahead of people. And I was unapologetic about that. And it worked out for me in my favor in my career quite a bit. But also, I had people that were older than me that I looked up to telling me that I had helped inspire them, or I had, somehow changed their perception or their view or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I had these people that I looked up to and asked questions to coming to me like a year, 2 years, 3 years later, telling me that they appreciate the work that I had done because it helped them realize what they could do. Or even now, being in business, I had to say goodbye to a lot of my brothers on the slope, working in the oil field, guys that I fucking love, brothers, oil field brothers, man, people you spend half your life with for years. I didn't say goodbye, but, it was like, see you later. And they're doing their thing, and I'm doing my thing, and I don't talk to them. I don't see them. I put shit on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram and shit, and that's that. And I never really realized that, or I guess think that, like, people are actually watching, which, thank you. I love you guys. Thanks. But I don't know, man. Like, it's just the coolest thing to me to feel like I have kind of started what I feel like I'm only now realizing that I want to do. And even years ago, I had this thing inside me that knew that this was what had to happen or whatever. And I'm getting a little deeper than I'm intended to, but it's just incredible to me how through those things that I've been talking about, being unapologetic, being unapologetically authentic, and being unapologetically authentically you, and working hard and all these things, they will start to show you why, some of the greats talk about shit like this. And like I said, my life, my whole existence lately has been kind of focused on my authenticity, who I want to be, who I am, who I'm becoming, what I want my future to look like, and how I can be authentically myself and attain all those things and not compromise that. And it's tough. It's not easy. I'll say that. It's not an easy task, but what it is more rewarding and impactful and powerful than anything you'll ever do. I think that we lose more and more of ourselves every day, the less authentic that we are, if that makes sense. I think that at a certain point, and for everybody that point is different, but I think that at a certain point we all get to some sort of breaking point of mental self-crisis of who we are and why and how, and the further that you get and the longer that you spend distance away from being authentically you start to lose that person. You start to lose you. And I think that's when we start to see things like, especially with celebrities kind of going crazy and having mental health issues and shit like that, partially because I think that they're, caught up in their own act, and the lack of authenticity is almost unbearing. You know what I mean? It really is that devastating. I feel. I 100% feel that way. I think that there's a lot to be said about us as people. A lot of people say, and I believe this too, we're more powerful than we even realize. And I believe that. I think it is all within us. It's all inside of us. We all have greatness we're all capable of it. We all have the capacity for good. And it just seems so simple to me. Obviously, it's not that. Whoa, dude. Obviously, it's not that simple. But, anyways, guys, I could sit here and yak your years off for years. I could yak your ears off for years. But, I mean, how's like 15 more minutes sound? I mean, we're at 45. We could make an hour of this rambling nonsense. We'll see what happens. We got to do my Duolingo tonight. Man, I'll tell you what. I swear, time goes so slow all day. And then you crack a beer or a drink or, start enjoying yourself at home. And then next thing you know, it's 9 o'clock. And you're just like, what the fuck? I cracked a drink like at 5 and I feel like it should be 6. But it's 9. But yeah, guys. The reason why I say all this too is I don't know how to even really get it out, but like maybe that was what I needed to get out. But a lot of the reasons that I say the things I say on this podcast to you guys, partially, and a lot of it, I'm saying it to myself. This is a way for me to reaffirm the things that I'm thinking or believing, or things that I need to work on. Things that I need to kind of focus on, and so this advice that I give you, or these things that I say, it's not that I'm trying to force anybody to do anything or to see it my way or any of that. It's more so, these are my experiences. This is a lot of the same shit that I'd say to myself, and I kind of, in a way, I am saying it to myself. But also, I'm just a firm believer in like sharing experiences, and not for any reason other than like growth, really. Like I'd like to see you grow. I'd like to see you grow further than me, in every aspect of life. I'd like to see you teaching me stuff. I'd like to see you being successful and having all your wildest dreams come true. And I believe that is very, 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 very possible. And I think being, kind of coming back to what we were talking about, being authentic is a huge part of that. Being real, being just you. Knowing who you are is a part of that too. And maybe we'll cover that on a different episode of the pod. But I don't know why I did that. Maybe I am a little autistic. Who knows? Don't care. I'm a little elgetistic. Yeah, we like that. Elgetistic? Yeah, I think I like that. Elgetistic. I'm going to fucking trademark that. Just kidding. But for real, though, like, I don't really know where I was going with that. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, we're all capable, we all have the power within us. And I think it's really just time we started kind of banding together and, like, helping each other grow and talk about these things. And, if there's ever anybody that wants to be on the podcast with me, or just even if you want to give me topics or ask my opinion on things, like, I'm more than happy to have people on, talk with people, debate, master debate, all kinds of different baiting I'm willing to do. I'm somewhat of a master myself. I am single nowadays, so there's that. But just kidding, that was pretty funny, I thought. I'm so fucking funny, dude. Anyways, I think this must be 3. This would be my third one. But I did have a glass. I think it was about a glass, like 1 or 2 shots of whiskey. Oh, man. Some Maker's Mark, some whiskey. But yeah, guys, be authentically you, man. We'll kind of leave it at that. I don't know, man. You know what? Maybe we won't leave it at that. I think I might even have to do another pod on this, just in general. But I'll probably post this one just because it's been a fun one. But the other thing that's so funny to really think about is, like, you know, even if it's society or community or culture, whatever, all of it, none of it, whatever it is that's perpetuating this state of inauthenticity within us and community and culture and society. You know, like, I don't know, I kind of lost my train of thought there for a second. Anyways, that's where I was going. So it might be all these things, right? And it could be culture and community, society that's shaping that narrative as far as, like, hey, you know, fit this mold, be this, be that. What I've noticed that is, like, pretty gnarly is, like, as humans, I believe we're all equipped with this fucking radar that, like, we all have the ability to, like, low key kind of doop 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 to radar bullshit. You know what I'm saying? And not that I'm great at it. Some might even say I'm kind of gullible, and I might be. I'm positive. I'm hopeful. I'm optimistic type of thing. But I can also, like, pick up on people's inauthenticity. And I think, you know, and this is real heavy on my mind right now because this is where I'm at in life. But, like, I'm single, so I'm dating. And girls will definitely be, like, the first humans to fucking pick up on your inauthenticity. That and dogs. Like, dogs know and chicks know. And that's why, like, dude, sometimes, like, not spitting this bullshit fabricated fucking game or riz, whatever the kids are calling it nowadays, like, that's the right way. Like, just being a fucking normal person and just having a conversation and connecting, like, on a regular, like, human level. Sometimes that's the right move, you know? And I mean, yeah, sometimes the fucking riz and the game has its place, but I will tell you from experience that women will be the first motherfuckers to call you on your bullshit when you're fucking trying to bullshit them. And so being authentically you is really important in that aspect. Not only that, but, like, finding the right friends and finding the right partner and finding the right people in your life to surround yourself with. Being authentically you is just more of a reason for them to be authentically them, and for you to be authentically you guys together, and to really get a true read on that person. I feel like if you go into it with false energy, that's what you're going to be greeted with is false kind of fraud energy. And I think that now more than ever, it's important to be authentically us, so that when we go meet our students' teachers, or when we're dating and looking for, you know, the person we're going to spend the rest of our lives with, we are authentically ourselves, so that we are finding the person that's the most authentically them. You know what I mean? Because the last thing we want is somebody that's spitting us a line of bullshit, trying to sell us a fucking lemon, and then you're stuck with that thing for the rest of your life, or you're fucking getting divorced and this and that, and, you know, all kinds of shit comes with that whole thing. But you know what I mean? Like with students, teachers, like, all kinds of things. Like you have a contractor come into your house to work on it, and he's the only time he can do it is when you're not there, or you have to leave for a little bit. Like that's where a lot of my authenticity comes into play. Is like I try to be as transparent and authentic and have integrity, honesty, and ethics, like it says on all my shit, because that's me. First of all, that's authentically me. But second of all, it just makes it that much easier for people to be authentically them, and for things to naturally just flow the way that they're supposed to. When you start introducing all these like external forces of like fraud and just bullshit, like you're polluting the waters, you're muddying the waters with all this bullshit. When you're authentically you, it's like smooth sailing, water's clear, like there's nothing to really worry about, I think. Obviously there's other things to be said for that, but in a nutshell, that's kind of where I'm at with it. But yeah, chicks, definitely. I've been caught on my bullshit many a time. I used to know this guy. Couldn't even remember his name. It was 15 years ago. I knew this guy. I was living in Carlsbad. I knew a bunch of these fucking rowdy dudes. And this fucking kid would, I wasn't super great at like talking to girls or anything. Not that I'm super great now or anything either. But back then, I don't even know if I'd lost my virginity at that point yet. I might have still been a virgin. But this fool would tell me how to like talk to chicks and stuff, and he would always just be telling me like, dude, just go tell her you fucking just got back from a cliff diving trip off the coast of Africa, and like go talk to these chicks and be like, yeah, I just got done cliff diving off the coast of Africa. They're like, what, dude? What the fuck? Maybe it was my delivery. I don't know. But again, I'm just, like the dumb shit that we do as kids, but also just be authentically you, man. Like that's one thing I think in relationships that I've fucked up on is being inauthentic. Maybe, really wanting it to work so much so that I'm willing to compromise things. And I've done that before. I'll be the first to admit it. Like I've compromised before. A lot. And again, all this shit that I'm saying comes from experience, or most of it at least. And so yes, I did compromise myself, and I did compromise some things. And I think that at a certain point, things will always need to be compromised, especially in a union between two people. But I also believe that not compromising your values and who you are as a person are first and foremost the most important. If you're going to compromise your friendship with your best friend of 20 years to get some pussy, that's probably some compromise you shouldn't compromise on. You know what I'm saying? Like, we should probably figure out a different approach to that. Or go maybe ask your buddy if you can fuck this chick or whatever, whatever the fucking deal is, you know what I mean? But like, that's kind of where I'm at with it. You know what I mean? Like, you can lie, you can cheat, you can steal, but you'll always have to pay for that at some point. And that same thing with authenticity, man. Like Andy Frisella talks about it all the time. Karmic debt. And I believe that it all kind of goes hand in hand with like authenticity, fakeness, being real, shit like that. And I really, really do believe that you have to pay for that shit at some point, and so be whoever you're trying to be that isn't you, but at some point you're gonna have to pay for that. Like, you're gonna have to put the facade down and really get to work on who you are as a person, you know what I mean? Or you're going to have some serious shit to deal with later. That's all I really got to say about that. Hey, there was our 15 minutes. Anyways, guys, let's see what else is going on in the world. We got a UFC fight tomorrow. Israel Adesanya and Sean Strickland. Not super sure who I plan to, I guess, cheer for. Both of them seem pretty rad. I think it'll be a good fight. There's definitely a lot of theatrics behind this fight. I was watching a podcast. I forget the podcast guy's name or the channel name, but I believe it's MMA something. It's this Irish dude, personal trainer guy, shredded. He always covers like fight sports and seems to be really savvy on the nutrition, fitness, and stuff like that. I believe he said he was a personal trainer. He may be a nutritionist. I'm not sure. But pretty good content. Dude's got excellent content, great channel. He's pretty fucking hilarious. And he covered a video yesterday about Israel Adesanya and his dog, and how Sean Strickland is talking shit about how Izzy was fucking with his dog and shit. Dude, it's just all kinds of ridiculous, honestly. And talking about touching his dog inappropriately and just super weird shit. But fucking Sean Strickland gets up at the press conference. I fucking love you guys. He's just a big rowdy dude, and it's gonna be a good fight. I'm pretty excited for it. Really excited to see the outcome. I know there's a couple other good fighters on the card. I haven't really looked into it. Let's actually look right now because we got some time. Let's see. Who do we got? All right. Alexander Volkanovski and Tai Tuivasa, co-main event, heavyweight. That looks like it'll be a good one. Wow, 30 years old, 34, 264 pounds. Holy shit, Tai Tuivasa is 264 pounds, 6'2". And then Alexander Volkanovski is 34 years old. He's 6'6", 250 pounds. It's going to be a big fight. Who else? There's a few good fights. Oh, somebody canceled. Manuel Cape canceled. So Kai Kara France flyweight will have to be fighting somebody else. Looks like. Yeah, big fight. Pretty excited. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to probably watch some press conference shit here in a little bit. Getting tired. I put a new light bar on my truck the other day, and I haven't gotten to go drive down a dark road yet, and so maybe I'm going to go get in my truck and drive down a dark road, drive around the neighborhood, and turn my light bar on and be like, bloop, bloop. But who knows? Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I'm going to get out of here. I'm getting a little tired, getting a little buzzed. I think that was a decent podcast. Not really sure. So I'm not sorry if it wasn't. We're supposed to be unapologetically us. That's me. This is me. This is me to you. What's up? Anyways, yeah, like I said, guys, thank you. And again, I know a lot of people probably wonder why I do this. This is me, man. This is what I'm doing, and not necessarily doing it for any specific reason or anything, but I'm just doing it to because I feel like it, because that's what I want to do. You know what I mean? And I'm unapologetically being myself about it, and I'm putting shit out here, and hopefully the goal is that at some point I will be able to help somebody's life in some way or something, right? That's kind of the goal. When I went to military school, this camp out here, right outside of Anchorage on Fort Rich, called Camp Carroll, and you live there for like 6 months. I think I was 16, fuck, I lost my train of thought. Damn it. Gotta stop drinking and smoking. Gotta take a break from all this shit. Oh, yeah, they used to say to me, or they used to say to us as a class, whoa, booger just flew out of my nose. So we lived there, for 6 months, and the guys that were like they were team leaders, they, were like our military school dads, and they used to tell us this shit all the time. What the fuck? I keep losing it. Damn it. They just always say that if they can help or change or get through to one person, that will be worth all of it. And that's where I'm at with this podcast, with my life. You know what I mean? If I can just help one person, if I can help guide or talk to or listen to anybody, friends, strangers, whoever, anybody that needs it, I'm here for it. You know what I mean? And that's my goal, man. And then, like, if I can only get through to one person, this will all have been worth it, even if it takes years and years and years. If I can get to one person and help change one person's life, it'll be worth it for me. So that's why I do this. And that's why I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things because I want to help. I want to impact change. I want to impact the world with change. I want to see some real greatness and real change in the world. And so, like they say, be the change you want to see. That's kind of why I'm doing the things that I'm doing in life. So I hope that inspires or motivates you to get out and do something impactful in life. I think that the world could really use it. And I know if you're listening to this or watching this, that you're one of those people that could really make some serious change in the world. So let's get out there and do it together, guys. I can't do it alone, and frankly, I don't want to. So get a hold of me, follow me on social, follow me here, like this video, share it with your bros and your hoes. No offense to the hoes out there. Just kidding, hoes. We love you. Just kidding again. But, yeah, with that being said, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Cheers to y'all. Cheers to me. Cheers to we, dude. Anyways, guys, thank you. It's been a pleasure. I know not a lot of people are watching or listening, but it really does make me happy to get to put this content out there and hopefully change a person's life someday. So thank you, and yeah, hopefully have some more for you soon, guys. Take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Victory to everybody. Later.